to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. If you are new here, my name is Josheen and welcome. On this side of the internet, we are all about positive energy and just working on our self-love journey, but together. And I have my matcha right here because you guys, it's literally 30 degrees outside. Like, it is so hot and I am boiling, even though we've got like the aircon going on. But I feel like towards my room, it doesn't really work as much because like the sun is sort of on this side at this point of the day. So yeah, it is super hot right now, so I have this just to like, you know, cool me down. Like, this is literally needed. Anyway, today's topic is all about 25 things that I have learned at the age of 25. So it was my birthday a couple weeks back, and a little bit of a story time for you guys. I went to America and I just got back like a week ago. So the original plan was that I was supposed to be filming so much content, so much YouTube while I was there, but it didn't go as according to the plan because I actually got really unwell for the first half or over half of my trip. Like, it was so bad, you guys. I can't even like tell you. There was a time where I was just like laying on the bed, like fully like really hot, had so much temperature, and I just couldn't even move. So that was like more than half of my trip at America. Once I got better, I had no energy to film. That was the last thing I wanted to do, hence why I haven't been on YouTube for the last couple of weeks. But that's done, that's gone. Overall, it was a really fun trip. Apart from the being sick version, I spent so much time with my cousins. You guys probably saw on my Snapchat and Instagram if you guys are following me. It was so much fun. We're getting back to the swing of things, so I'm very excited to be filming again. It kind of feels weird getting back in routine again, but I'm slowly getting used to it. I was like very depressed when we got back because I was just missing my family so much back, like my cousins and stuff in America. Anyway, that's the past, but going back to today's video, it's 25 things that I have learned at the age of 25. I have learned so many things over the last couple of years. A lot of the things this year, things like self-love, how to love yourself. I thought I really like knew how to love myself, but that wasn't really the case until this year, where I sort of just like had to deep dive inside and just like see what was going on, what needed work, and there was quite a few things. But anyway, it's safe to say that I've learned a few things over the last couple of years, and I'm so excited to share with you guys. There's 25 things. I'm going to be keeping them very short and sweet and to the point, just so you know what I'm talking about, and we sort of get to the point very like quickly as well, just because I'm not going to be rambling around. Further wait, let's get right into it. So number one is give others the space that they need. This is super simple, but it is quite hard. I found it really hard. Whenever I would have an argument with someone, I would tend to like just run and be like what's wrong, like talk to me, why aren't you talking to me? When we do stuff like that in the moment isn't the best thing to do, because if we're not giving the other person some space to calm down, they can certainly say things that we definitely don't want to hear, or we can say things that they don't want to hear. One thing I've learned when it comes to this is when you've had an argument with someone, just give them that space to heal, to be alone, and come back to you after a while, and then you guys can sort it out. Do not, when the argument is very heated, talk about it. Just let it be. Just give them their space, give yourself your space that you need, and then come back after a couple hours, not years, after a couple hours, days, whatever it may be, but just let it be in the moment. I promise this works wonders. Number two is listen to your needs. This one has been my favorite this year because I've really just like, you know, this year I'm like, you know what, I need some space. I'm not feeling the best, and that's okay. I'm just going to listen to my body's needs that I feel like right now. By all means, that definitely doesn't mean I am going to wake up every day and be like, I'm not going to the gym, I'm not eating healthy. No, you have days where you don't feel like yourself, and that's fine. Like, I just mean that give yourself that space when you need it. For example, if I have a day where I wake up super tired and I don't feel like going to the gym, instead I'll do like a home based workout that's not as full on, but it's still giving me, I can still get a workout out of it. Or for example, if you don't feel like going for a run, go for a walk instead. It's just working with yourself and seeing what your body wants, because we are humans, and not every day, you guys, just like let that sink in, not every day you will feel your 100%. The plans that you might have set up for yourself like last night for the next day might not be it the next day, because you're not in that energy, you're not feeling yourself. You might be like, your period might be around the corner, it can be anything. You might just not be feeling yourself as you were the previous night. So just be gentle with yourself and just let yourself know that that's okay. We'll come back to it, that's fine. 3 is setting boundaries. I absolutely love this one. When we set boundaries, we're actually not being selfish. We are actually protecting ourselves when we're protecting the other person in a way. So everyone should set boundaries, because if we don't, we will continuously tire ourselves by always just pleasing the other person every day. Long run, that's not ideal, because we will burn ourselves before we know it. So before we get to that stage, set your boundaries straight. It can be with your parents, your siblings, friends, auntie, uncle, cousins. You need boundaries with basically literally everyone. It can be as simple as letting someone know, like, this is my time and I need it for myself, so I can't hang out. It can be anything. Just see what works for you and just sort of stick to. Number 4 is it's okay to say no. I know this one is very hard and a lot of us struggle with it, especially if you're a people pleaser. I definitely am a people pleaser. But you guys, if there's something you can't do, just let them know. You don't even need an explanation. You don't need a whole paragraph. If you don't think you can go to work because maybe you're sick or whatever the reason is, just be like, you know what, I can't go to work. Let your boss know. You don't need an explanation all the time. Just be like, I can't work, that's it, period. You don't feel like going to that party, and I don't mean just skip your best friend's party because you feel lazy or anything like that. I definitely don't mean that. I mean, if you really feel like prioritizing yourself, if your mental health is just not it, you going to that party probably will just make you feel worse. So in the long run, let's look after ourselves and let's just say no. We won't go to the party today because it's just not going to work out for us, and that is completely fine. And again, I'm not saying do this every day, but some days where you just feel like prioritizing yourself, don't feel guilty. It is okay to prioritize yourself. It is completely okay to say no. Just get in the habit of it, and I promise you'll be there sooner than you think. Number 5 is become self-obsessed. This is my all-time favorite because this is the journey that I have been on this year, as you guys have seen on my Snapchat, Instagram, socials, everywhere, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, this is a big one. Being self-obsessed is definitely not easy. It is baby steps. Take yourself out on solo dates, go get a manicure, pedicure, get your hair done. I got my hair done just before America. I'm obsessed with the change. We went dark and I love it. And yeah, it can literally be anything. Just be there for yourself. If you crave an iced latte, it's okay to buy an iced latte once or twice a week if you really feel like it. Okay, it's okay to spend that $7-8 if that's what makes you happy. To journal, it's very important to not run away from your feelings. I feel like at the start of this year I had a few issues that I was dealing with. It was just life, and I remember I just didn't want to do anything, and I was running away from that problem so much. I would go down to my friend's house every day, and we would just eat food and watch movies, and part of me knew there was something that was going on in my head, like a trauma or something I didn't deal with as I should have. So I was just running away from it. And yeah, the sooner I came into terms with myself about what was going on, the better I felt. So it's very important that you know that you cannot run away from your feelings, and that's a form of self-love. The better you look after yourself and see what's really been going on, you've got to sit down with yourself and talk about it. Self-love is not just skincare, getting nails done and everything that I have mentioned. It is a part of it. We're not feeling okay in the head if there's something going on, no matter how much skincare you do, no matter how many face masks you put on, that self-love, that trauma that's still in your head still needs to be dealt with. You can go to therapy, you can talk to someone, whatever works for you, but make sure that before you enter 2025 you are actually dealing with your problems, dealing with what's going on. Please do not run away from your problems, because they will still remain there. You cannot drink alcohol, you cannot do all these things to run away from your problems, because the next day you will be sober and that problem will be there and you will actually feel worse. 6 is prioritize your health and well-being. I love this one because we are walking into 2025 with our health and fitness goals straight. And no, I do not mean on New Year's we are going to the gym and we are eating super healthy, but then we are falling back in the routine of just eating junk food and stuff again. That's not what I'm talking about. I think when it comes to me, I'm not a New Year resolution person. I definitely won't ever have New Year goals, because I like to be very consistent with my goals throughout the year, sort of, as much as I can, 90% of the time, really. So I think it's very important that you just get in the head and mindset of, baby steps. I'm gonna start going to the gym, I'm gonna start eating healthy, whatever it may be for you. You can always follow me on my socials, on my Snapchat. I'm always posting my recipes and stuff that I'm eating day to day, and I promise with baby steps you'll get there. If you're someone that's struggling with just your health and well-being, and if you always say that I'm going to be eating healthy but then you fall back in the trap of just eating junk food, just message me. I'm always just a message away. I promise I always reply, and I will talk to you and guide you with anything that you may need help with. If you've really just tried everything and it's just not working out, we will come up with a planned diet, anything, just hit me up and we'll get there. Number 7 is become confident. So I have talked about this before in my previous videos, and I'm a very big believer of fake it till you make it, and I promise you guys it works. Because the other day I was talking to someone and this person's like, you know what, like, I think I asked them, I was like, what do you think like I'm a shy person? I don't know, I think it was something like that, I'm not too sure. And they're like, you're shy, like what? Confident and stuff like that. That's what they said. And like, I just thought about it for a second, and I'm like, me and confident, like how are people saying that? Because that is definitely not me. But it's because I think I just fake it. I am a very big introvert. I love being in my room. You can always probably tell again from my socials that I'm always just in the house, just doing my own thing. But when I do step out, I make sure that people do think, you know, I am that girl. Why? Because I fake it. I'm really not, but I just fake it, and that really works. Whatever you tell people about yourself, they will believe. If you keep telling someone, I'm not pretty, I'm ugly, I'm this, that, oh my god, you guys, I promise this is so true that people will believe it. So be confident. Just fake it till you make it, okay? People, fake it till you make it, and then eventually it'll just become a habit. I think that's how I started, and now it's just a habit. I really just try to push myself out of my comfort zone. A little story time in America. My cousin brother's wife, she was going down to the city with her friends for dinner, and she asked me if I wanted to come with, and like the introvert that I am would straight up be like, no, like, oh my god, I'm meeting new people. She was actually going out with her friends, being like, oh my god, I'm meeting new people, blah blah blah. But before I could even like think of all that, I just said yes. Like I said, like, okay, I'm gonna go. And yeah, I said that, and then I didn't really have much to think about. I just sort of went with the flow, and of course it was such an amazing night. Of course I learned so much. They were all a couple years older than me, and it was always, I gained so much wisdom, I gained so much confidence. I could see what the nightlife of LA was sort of like the vibes and stuff, which was really cool because I don't go out or anything. And we just literally just went to a restaurant, went to like this painting thing. That was such a vibe, and I'm so glad I said yes. So yeah, be confident, say yes to opportunities, because if you say no, you might actually miss out on a very big opportunity. Just say yes before you can even think. Number 8 is consuming educational content. What you feed your brain is what you will believe, so you might as well make it something positive, something that you will gain knowledge of. Some examples could be reading. I have started reading this year, and I read 1 book every month. For some people it might not be a lot, but for me that's enough. For someone that never even read, I like setting baby steps. I don't like to just jump in things very quickly just to give up after a while. I've been consistent throughout the year, so it's just something that's worked for me. For you, it can be anything: watching podcasts, listening to podcasts, watching inspirational videos. It can be anything, but just feed your brain that content. A little tip from me would be, what I do is before I go to bed, I either like read or watch a very inspirational vlog. It can be anything. If there's something about TikTok I would like to learn, Snapchat, how to grow, it can be anything. I just watch it, and that way I go to sleep actually thinking about it, and I wake up very like positive, happy, and like, because I'm going to sleep, so in my subconscious mind I'm actually thinking about it. And before, these things are very accessible, so make sure you use them. Literally, you can just put anything in YouTube, like anything that you need to learn, uni work, anything. It can be anything. Just put it in there, and I promise that you guys will gain that education that you want to. 9 is trusting your own opinion about yourself. Yes, trusting your own opinion about yourself is very important, because we are not giving someone else the power to let us know what we are, okay? If someone gives you a compliment, just take the compliment. Just don't get a big head over it, or be like, oh my god, like, you know what, that person said I'm really pretty, and like, wow, that just has made my day. It has, oh my god, guys, this was once me, and I've stopped doing that, because now I know what I am. When someone gives me a compliment, it's a simple yes, like, great, thank you, and then we move on. We don't get a big head or anything, because if that same person said that you're so ugly, this, that, we will be miserable. So we're not giving someone else the power to tell us what we are, okay? We know what we are. So yeah, let's just cut all that out. Number 10 is staying on top of it all. And by that, I don't mean exhaust yourself out. That would not be nice. By that, I mean is staying on top of your health, fitness, and your just like your priorities, your mental health. It's very important to look after yourself, and let's just be honest, no one else has the time to look after ourselves. It's our duty, so we might as well just do it for ourselves, for our body. Our body works really hard for us, so it's about time we put the energy and some self-love back for ourselves. Again, this is baby steps. If you slowly, one thing I've started recently doing is taking vitamins. You guys, I had a blood test done a couple of months ago and my iron was so low, to the point where my doctor was like, how are you even functioning? And I was like, oh my god, because whenever we go to like anywhere these days, like whenever we have like a road trip, I just fall asleep in the car so fast. And I'm just like, maybe this is an age thing because I'm getting older now. I don't know, it was just silly. And yeah, I'd just fall asleep. I'd be tired. I lately haven't been able to lift heavy at the gym like I maybe could last year, and that's why it all makes sense, because I have no iron in me. And my doctor even said, like, how are you going to America like without getting it injected? That's how bad it is that she wants me to get it injected. But anyway, yeah, it can be anything. If that's something you need to do, your blood test, anything, just do it. Just start with little baby steps. When it comes to our health, there's so much we can do, and obviously we can't do everything. So take little baby steps, add little things every here and there, and I promise you'll get there. As soon as you've started, you're already on the journey, so that's perfect, that's great. Number 11 is be unbothered. Start being unbothered by everything that won't serve you or your purpose in 2025, okay? 2025 is around the corner. I am 25. One thing I have learned is that if someone isn't serving me purpose, if they aren't talking about anything that would value me, I'm unbothered, and I suddenly just have a brick in my ears, and everything they're talking about, I'm not gonna hear that. I'm not gonna take it in. I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm gonna leave the conversation there, because why would I care about a stranger's opinion on me anyway? No, absolutely not. I stay minding my own business. When someone talks to me about something I don't agree with, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with someone. I'm just gonna be doing my own thing, okay? Number 12 is spend time with your loved ones. In this podcast, we've talked about all self-love things, self this, that, but other people come in place too, because for us to feel fulfilled, happy, we need people around us, guys. Let's just be honest. We need people around us. We need our parents. For you, it can be anything. For me, it's my parents, my brother, my friends, my family. I'm very close to my cousins, so they come in play as well. Once in a week or fortnight, you are spending time with them. You're checking in on their mental health, how they are going. Make sure you tell them you love them. And for me, I feel like I have this relationship with my parents where I won't actually go to them and be like, I love you guys. Like, that's just not what we have been taught. I don't know if it's like being an Indian thing, but yeah. I haven't grown up being like, oh, I love you, this, that, blah, blah, blah. My way of self-love is like maybe making them a green smoothie, maybe making like ice cream, or like maybe giving my parents vitamins before we all go to sleep. It can be little things like that, and they appreciate it a lot as well, more than we think. And make sure you spend some time with your friends. I'm 25 now, and I know that life is getting so busy. Like, I barely even see my friends, and they literally live 5 minutes away. I have 2 friends who I can't even see, and they live so close by. It's really busy, and I get it, but make sure when you hang out with those friends that you leave feeling energized and motivated. If you're hanging out with some people that you're constantly feeling drained from by hanging out with them, that you might have to reevaluate, you might have to rethink, because you're not meant to be feeling drained around the people that you hang out with. So just rethink that. 13 is start putting the work in. When I say start putting the work in, I'm going to be a little bit harsh, okay? We cannot wait for someone to come save us, okay? No one will save us. Let's just be honest. Nobody will save us. I have been waiting for someone to come save me. I thought when someone comes in my life, this will happen, that will happen. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to give yourself that self-love and save yourself. We literally have to become the dream version of ourselves, not today, tomorrow, but we've got to sort of start today and right now. Stop. I've had so many people around me. When I get the right gym shoes is when I'm going to start gym. When I get gym outfits is when I'm going to start gym. When I'm skinny, I can wear this. When I am like I don't know, it's just all these things. And when people say that, really, like, I don't know, it triggers something inside me. And I'm like, why can't you just start now? Just start now, and then you'll become in the habit, and then maybe you can reward yourself with some nice shoes, or maybe you can just buy nice shoes during the process. You cannot wait for something to come your way and then start. No, guys, how much do you want it? Like, ask yourself, how much do you want it? If you really want it, then there will be nothing that will stop you. Okay, you will start now. Like, the sooner we start, the closer we will become to our goals. It is as simple as that. 14 is planning. This is something I've learned to do this year, and that's simply on my iPad, on the calendar. I write literally everything down. Any family event, any dinner plans, movie plans, gym, productivity plans. I just write everything down, and I write it down on my notes too, my goals for the next day, and I just tick the next day. It works out really well, and it's very benefit. It keeps you on track. So I very highly suggest starting to plan. Number 15 is stop caring about what others think. One thing I've learned this year is when you sort of come out with the results, people are like, wow, she did that? How? What? Why? When? Like, they have all these questions, but throughout the journey, they doubt you and they never really support you, because a part of them think that you wouldn't be able to do what you just did. For example, if you would like to be an influencer, for example, and you're posting every day and you're posting all sorts of content, of course it can be cringy. Of course people will think that's cringy. Yes, people will hate, but that is the same person that will then be shocked and would sort of be in disbelief that you actually made it. So make sure you're just continuing on the little journey that you're on. Just ignore the haters, okay? Just ignore. There will always be haters. I have had so many haters. Every time I feel like my video goes viral, there's so many comments of people just making up stuff that I'm like, how did you even think about this? Like, it is crazy. It blows my mind, but it happens. They are there. So just do your own thing. Make sure you stay focused. Make sure you don't let the outside voice get in your head. Just don't let anyone distract you, and be on the right path that you are on, and I promise you, you will get there sooner than you think. 16 is having a morning and nighttime routine. This is my favorite because I think it's very important to start your day off by something that you enjoy. It can be making your matcha in the morning, it can be making your favorite iced drink, it can be anything that works for you. It can be yoga, anything. Having a slow morning routine and then a slow night routine. Can be taking your tablets, making a healthy little dinner, doing your skincare, having a little shower, anything. But just make sure that you start your day off on your own terms and end it on your own terms as well. Just giving something back to your body. It doesn't have to be every day, but most of the days would be great. I promise you, it makes you feel so relaxed and just ready for the day, and it helps you just end the night very nicely. 17 is please speak to yourself kindly. Do not with yourself use words like I am stupid, I am blah blah blah, because your brain has this tendency to believe things that you talk about. So if you keep telling yourself I'm stupid, blah blah blah, your brain will actually believe that. So you might as well just switch that up and be like, I know this, I'm very clever, I'm very smart, I'm good enough. Just these affirmations that your brain will actually feed. That's why people believe in affirmations, guys. Like, it really works. What you feed your brain is what your brain will believe. And especially do not call yourself these words in front of other people, because that's when they lose the self-respect that they have for you. Because if you don't respect yourself, how can someone else? Number 18 is post that selfie, nobody cares. Guys, come on, like 2025 is around the corner. I am 25, and that is one thing that I have learned, that no more asking for validations. Should I post this? What filter looks good? What filter should I not post? Did this edit look good? Does that look? No. This was so me in high school. This is one thing that I actually never do, and I suggest you don't do as well. Your opinion about yourself is enough. Yes, okay, if there's something you're very just not sure about, if it's too much, up to you. If you really think it's too much and you really need someone's validation, okay, but I think your own judgment about yourself is perfectly enough. So yeah, before you next time go asking others what post you should post, and then them being like, not this one, but that's the one you really liked, you should have just gone with your own instinct. And honestly, nobody cares, okay? I know that's like harsh, but realistically, nobody's sitting there and being like, oh wow, like this, that. Like, why did she post that? Like, why this, that? Okay, so just post it. It's really not as deep as you think. Just post it. As long as you're happy and confident about it, it's fine. That's all that matters. So just post it. Number 19 is not everybody will like you. This, you guys, sits so hard with me because, again, a little story time. I've been doing a lot of story times and backing up the evidence that I have for you guys that I have been through this. I've done that. Anyway, yeah, so a couple of years ago, I was friends with my friends, my ex-friends back in the day. And yeah, whatever happened, we sort of fell out of our friendship. I am still not sure as to what happened, but yeah, something happened and we sort of fell out. And I remember seeing them at this party, my friend's party. We had mutual friends and they were there, and I was just very excited. I was like, oh, like, you know, hi, like this, that. And they never really, like, I don't know, they just didn't really speak to me nicely. Anyway, that was obviously the people pleaser that I am. That was not enough for me. I ended up like giving them a hug after the party as well. And I think they sort of just like stood there like that, and I was just like, what? That was again not enough for me. And anyway, I went home after the party. For some reason, they actually followed me back on Instagram, and I was so happy. I texted and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much for following me back, this, that, blah blah blah. And yeah, of course they unfollowed me after a couple weeks or so again, and I think I was devastated. I was very sad like throughout the process. I was very happy that they were back, even though like nothing was done on my end, and the friendships just sort of fell out. I shouldn't have reacted the way I did react, but I didn't know any better. I had to go through that to learn. By all means, now whoever wants to leave me can leave me. Like, I wouldn't just sit here and beg someone to come back. That's what I did then, but I obviously have learned from my mistakes and I would never repeat that. So do not beg for someone to stay. If someone really wants to stay, they will stay in your life. If you fall out of your friendships, that's a good sign. That means you're growing, okay? Once we get older, not everybody will like us, okay? And it's fine. It's like literally part of life. We cannot impress everyone. I have learned that, and I think the sooner we learn this, the better. Just be happy on your own, and as long as you're good, everything's good. But 20 is never change your values, your opinions, just because others do not think the same. It's okay for others not to align with the same values or your opinions that you have. You simply just have to listen to what they are saying and be like, you know what, that's okay. Like, that's their beliefs, that's their opinions, that's not yours, and that's completely fine. You don't need to sit there argue with someone else. We all have our different beliefs and values. You also do not have to change your own values. I feel like I definitely did that. When someone else would tell me something, I'd be like, wow, like I'm wrong, I'm gonna believe that. No, you do not need to do that, okay? You do not need to change your values, opinions because they don't align with someone else. You don't need to argue about it as well. The other person will just not get it, and they don't need to get it, you know? They have their own beliefs, which is completely fine. You just simply say, okay, cool, and you just move on. It's not that hard. Number 21 is work-life balance is extremely important in your 20s. The sort of habits that we get into in your 20s is what we will sort of remain for the rest of our life. So you want to make them some good habits. So make sure you're prioritizing work-life balance, where you're not just burning yourself out, where you're just not continuously working, you're giving yourself some space. It goes in hand with everything that I've talked about so far. Make sure you incorporate those little things in your life. You've got a good balance, you're hanging out with your friends, you're working out, you're giving your mental health, prioritizing your mental health, seeing a therapist if you need to. These are all healthy things that you need to incorporate in your 20s, so that way you can flourish when you're over 30s and so on. Number 22 is stop comparing yourself to others, because you will not reach your goals. You guys just stop comparing yourself to others. Trends always are changing, people always are changing. Once someone has black hair, they might have blonde hair next day, and then you're gonna want blonde hair. You will never be satisfied. You will never be happy with yourself. The person you're looking at is actually wanting something else too, okay? This is a cycle that we are stuck in. It's one thing after another. We've got to learn just to be comfortable with where we are. I used to be obsessed with designer bags, and then I slowly started getting more and more and more, and it would just not excite me the way it once did. Like, that's just another bag, and then that's when I put a stop to it. So now I'm happy with whatever bags I have. That's just a little example. I don't like buy anything anymore because I know that's just temporary happiness, unless there's something like I'm like, wow, like I need this, I want this so bad. That's a different story. But 23 is investing in yourself is never a waste. I absolutely love this one because, guys, how often is that when we treat ourselves to something, we always feel guilty. Buy yourself an iced latte if you really want it, and if that's what will make you happy, because when you put stuff in for yourself, it'll only come out to be better, because your mental health will be good. You'll feel positive, happy, energized, motivated. highly believe that doing these things every now and then is actually a reward for yourself, because it will make you feel better about yourself in the long term. I was one of those people who would always be like I'm not gonna buy breakfast, like that's so weird buying breakfast. But recently I've started buying like brunch for myself every now and then. I love it, you guys. Like I just love switching up the routine every now and then and giving myself these things, because that way I know like I go throughout the day feeling good and like happy, and I'm like, you know, like I gave myself like this reward at the start of the day, and now I'm ready. Like I'm ready to work hard, put the work in. Number 24 is do not argue with an idiot. You cannot vibe on the same level as someone else that is just not on your level. As I'm still learning this, but every now and then I do fall into the category of not following this rule. When things are very heated in the moment, just breathe and just don't let it get to you. Anything happens in the moment these days, I'm like, okay. Like I just listen and be like, just then still think what I want to think, but in the moment I just won't say anything anymore, and I'll just remain really calm and be like, okay. If you start arguing with someone that's not on the same level as you, that conversation is not ending the way you would want it to be. Instead, just say okay. You do not have to believe what others are saying, okay? I'm not saying that. It's fine. Just ignore them, okay? I promise it'll be better. Like once you go back and you look back and you'd be glad that you did not argue with them. 25 is the last one, and that is love yourself. My absolute favorite. Why? Because we often think, of course I love myself, of course like I am my favorite person, but you guys, when you really deep dive in, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There was definitely a lot of work that had to be done with me this whole year, and I have done it. Like I'm getting there. This is a journey that we are in together. I'm here to help. You guys are here to help me. I always learn every day still. But just make sure you're checking in with your feelings. Make sure you're giving yourself some self-love back. Make sure you're journalizing. I still need to start journaling. I haven't actually journaled, but I've heard it's really good. So obviously I'm still on this path. I'm still growing. See a therapist if you need to, because this is what self-love is, and some of us are still not giving ourselves this love back. We're always so harsh on ourselves, and we always think this hasn't been done. We're literally just stuck in a cycle where we just keep going and going. Every day we make ends meet, but what is going on inside us is also our responsibility to check in with ourselves. Take it easy, prioritize yourself, and I promise, taking baby steps, everything will eventually fall into place like sooner than you think. My loves, that's end of this video. This was a long video, but I was very excited for this video. I remember just writing my script and had all these ideas in my head, so I hope you guys learned a thing or two, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you guys enjoyed this video, and please comment down below what you guys would like me to post in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.